Hey, this is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Hey, I got on today. It's kind of late, but I wanted to talk about something. I was listening to one of my favorite DJs in Charlotte, and I was listening to his podcast, and he was saying that he disliked how the people in Charlotte that's popping are so arrogant. And I understand where he's going with it, and I understand why some of them are so arrogant. The thing with Charlotte, okay, and I can't speak about no other place in North Carolina. I can only speak about, I could speak about Charlotte and its surrounding areas, okay? The thing that I noticed with Charlotte is these people go through a lot mentally and physically, because North Carolina, I'm gonna say North Carolina as a whole needs to come up to speed with a lot of things. However, I learned to live with it. But yes, North Carolina is slow with a lot of things, but we also have a lot of perks. Okay. And with that being said, sometimes you got to take, what is that saying? You take the bitter with the sweet. Okay. So, and you have a choice, on how you deal with people on a daily basis. Now, I noticed here in Charlotte is mainly the black and brown people that's very arrogant. And when I approach a black or brown person here in North Carolina, I have to watch their demeanor, okay? Because they have a way of making you want to slap them from here to kingdom come. And that's just what it is, okay? And I'm going to give it to y'all straight. And y'all know the person that I've always been, I will slap a person real quick. But I've learned as the years went on to humble myself, because sometimes it's not even worth it. However, I can see why some of them are the way they are because they go through so much. It's so much stress that's put on them. One, because of their government. Two, the way things are done. And it makes them arrogant. However, because I talk to people all day long. I know so many people in Charlotte is unreal, and I've only been here for 4 years. But that's just who Jackie is. You know what I mean? I meet people, I become friends with them. I say hi, not friends, I say associates. They stop and talk to me. We talk about an hour, and keep it moving. We see each other again. Hey, what's up? What's going on with you? You know what I mean? And I've always been like that all my life. And when I came here, thinking that Charlotte being in the South, and when I lived in Maryland, okay, and if y'all know that Maryland starts the South at the Mason-Dixon line. So when I was living in Maryland, all the people were so nice, especially the black people. And see, the black people in Maryland, a lot of the black people are wealthy, okay? Are really wealthy. So, they have a way of presenting themselves, When I came to Charlotte, you got a lot of poor people here, and they think that, they're above people, when in actuality they're not. But they don't know it because they're living based off of what they may see, and they may not see everything or see the whole story. So they just have this attitude that they're better than everyone. My daughter's trying to get me, we bought this new popcorn. It's called Hampton Popcorn Company. I'm sorry, y'all, but she's trying to get me to open it, and I can't. So I don't know what to tell her. But I had the, we talk about popcorn. I had the caramel popcorn, sweet, salty, crunchy, It's supposed to taste something like Crunch and Munch, but it doesn't. I dislike it. Not for me. And she has the butter one. She's trying to open that one and see what that tastes like. But I want to get back to my podcast. I'm sorry, y'all. But I agree a little bit with him on some of the arrogance that you do see here, and he was talking more about the people that I guess think they're popping, thinking it all out or whatever the case may be. And some of these people really do think they're all that. And it's sad, you could sit back and look at it and say some of it is sad, but then you got to look at roads that other people's been down and what they might have been through for you to say whether or not you really popping or not. You know what I mean? Because there's always a person out here or a superior out here that's bigger than you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, matter of fact, I'm going to use myself. Y'all know I try not to talk about other people and I always use myself. With me, I have this thing where, and this is where I get arrogant. When I'm trying to please you with whatever you're asking me for or doing, you know what I mean? And then you're failing to do your part in order for me to continue to help you or do what you need me to do. Okay. And that's when I would get an arrogant attitude, because I hate stupidity. I hate liars. I hate people that, you say one thing and then you do another, it pisses me off. You know what I mean? And I'm one, I don't like to hurt, especially my people. I don't like to hurt my people. You know what I mean? And when I say my people, I'm talking about the brown people, the black people, the Hispanic people. Those are my people. Okay? And I don't like hurting my people. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like I need to slap somebody. I don't want to feel like I got to go get their boss on them to cause them to get a write-up or lose their job. You know what I mean? However, sometimes you just got to show these people, though, that you're not playing with them. You know what I mean? And that's where arrogance sets in at, and a lot of them have that full force on them because when you go places, this is what you got to deal with. You know what I mean? And they feel like they have to be arrogant in order for you to understand what they're doing or trying to do. And I'm not taking up for my people here in Charlotte. I'm just trying to pinpoint and let Jay see why they're the way they are. And maybe if he get a little bit understanding, then he'll know how to deal with them. He said he don't want to be popping because he's not arrogant. And if that's what's going to make you popping, to be arrogant, then he don't want to be popping. But little do he know he is popping. I'm a big fan of his. You know what I mean? He helps the community. He does a wonderful job on the radio show. He when you write him, he writes you back. So I look at him as being popping. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with arrogance. But then again, I can say some things too that y'all may think that he does is arrogant. Okay? And the same with me. So you can't just say a person is being arrogant based on the way they act or the way they say something, because it could be a reason why they're doing that. Just find out their resume if you want to know why they think they popping. You know what I mean? Dig up their resume. Just like, I'm gonna use myself again, for instance. A lot of people don't know that I've been in this music industry for over 30-something years. Okay? I recorded my first song on a cassette tape. Okay? These studio guys, this is how long ago it was. They brought me into this room with this stuff and the cassette tapes, and this is what they had me do. You know what I mean? I never got a part of it. I never got the recording. But that was my first track ever made. Okay, that's when my name was Mama Brandy. However, during that time, and see, this is the other thing too, like with me, I'm from New York City. In New York City, stars walk around every day, all day. This is what they do. You know what I mean? And we meet each other. We stop and talk sometime, depending on where we at, what we doing, how we doing it. And I know a lot of stars. You know what I mean? And a lot of people would say to me, oh, she's arrogant because she knows a lot of stars. It's not my fault that I was born in New York City and I met a lot of stars in my life. And to them, some of them, I was a star. You know what I mean? So they came around me to get my love. You know what I mean? So with that being said, if you don't know a person's background or their matter of fact, I'm gonna go here. I went to the doctor. I'm gonna use this one here. I went to the doctor about a month ago. I wasn't sure if I had a sinus infection or it was the COVID. Okay, based on my symptoms, they looked at it as being just a sinus infection. Okay, and the doctor, she wanted to give me something that I've taken before that I know wouldn't work for me. But she insisted because she was my superior. And being that she was my superior, meaning she went to college for 12 to 15 years to become a doctor, and they appointed her to care for the ill. And I constantly told her, and she was very arrogant with it, okay? And she wasn't even black. She was white. And she told me that this is what she was going to give me, whether I like it or not. But yet and still, I told her that it wasn't going to work. So now I got to get arrogant with her. Because I'm telling you about my body that I've had for 50 years. Okay, you're trying to make me take something that's going to make me more sick. Well, she proceeded with the nonsense, and I said, all right, well, guess what? I don't want it. Don't give it to me. It was my choice, okay? I didn't feel like arguing with her no more. I didn't feel good, and I knew what she was giving me was only going to make my symptoms worse. So I waited it out. I told myself, if I got to leave here, leave Charlotte, and go somewhere else to get the treatment that I need for myself, this is what I have to do. But before I do that, I said I'm going to go to my doctor. Okay? Now I'm going to tell y'all this. I go to my doctor and I tell her about what the other doctor did. Okay? Now this is where arrogance come in at. Okay? Because you have a MD license and you're a doctor. You think that you're smarter than me and you're bigger than me and you know more than me. Okay? But you don't know my body because everybody's body is different. So I proceeded to tell her that, I use a lot of herbs. I'm a godly person, so I use a lot of herbs. And this is what I've been using to try to calm down my symptoms so I won't get sicker, because she didn't want to give me what works for my body. Now, instead of the doctor before me saying, well, Miss Richardson, I don't want to give you this because this is what possibly can happen. Okay, this is where the arrogance coming at. Okay, when they don't want to explain to you why they're doing what they're doing or how they're doing it. Okay, that's when it's looked at as arrogance. Okay, now instead of her just explaining to me, well, Miss Richardson, if I give you this, you're gonna have to stay home for 10 days because your immune system is going to drop. We have the COVID and X, Y, and Z, which I already knew that I must stay inside if I take this medication. Okay, because it does kill both the good cells and the bad cells. But she didn't want to do that. She just wanted to be arrogant. and state like, look, I'm bigger than you. I'm the doctor. I don't care what you're talking about. This is what you're going to get. And if you don't like it, oh, well. Okay. Now, going back to the second doctor. So I explained to her the situation. Then I also explained to her, I said, listen, y'all my primary care doctors. So I feel like y'all should have all my records from New York. Okay, so y'all will know who Jacqueline is when I walk through the door and you put my chart on the table. You can go through that chart and see what Jacqueline is allergic to, what Jacqueline has had in the past, how Jacqueline almost died, whatever the case may be. You need to know all of these things. So y'all could just stop being evil, rude, and arrogant towards me. So I had mentioned about, and I'm going back to the herbs, I mentioned about the herb thing. And I was so upset with her. Okay. She said, well, I'm not into the herb thing. So, how she said it? I don't want to get it wrong. And I hate to, say something out of context instead of quoting exactly what they said. But what she was trying to say is she don't believe in the herb thing. So, either you're going to take this medicine from me or keep it moving pretty much. Okay. And I wasn't feeling that. Okay. I wanted to get up and slap her. So the black, I said, I felt some kind of way. I told her, I felt some kind of way about you saying that, ma'am. Because I like herbs, natural stuff. I got to be looked at differently. Why? Okay. And like I said, I wanted to slap the living hell out of her. Okay. But I know I would have went to jail that day. Then there was a black lady and she was a nurse and she pretty much broke it down to me what she was trying to say. I said, well, you know what? She shouldn't have said it that way. And that's the thing with people. It's not what they say, it's how they say it. It's not what they do, it's how they do it. And that's what makes them arrogant. And yes, the residents of Charlotte have to work on that. They have a big issue with that. You know what I mean? I always feel and this is just me, I always feel like it's better to explain to a person in detail what you're trying to tell them so they won't feel that you're arrogant. Okay? People may see me write on someone's post and I might write like a whole paragraph because I'm not into that subliminal type of writing. And I'm going to tell you why, because some people think different than you think. And what they may feel that that subliminal message said, it may not have said that. So I write my stuff in detail so I can give the person a very good understanding of what I'm saying, because this is another big issue. And this is not just in Charlotte. This is almost anywhere you go. People don't comprehend properly. So when they don't comprehend properly, sometimes they come back with arrogance, okay? Because they didn't understand what you said from the get-go. Okay, so this is why, you may see a lot of arrogance here in Charlotte. And it's sad to say it, but, we're not perfect, Just like any other state, they got issues. Sure, I know some people in New York right now, with they thinking they popping and with their arrogant attitudes, and you looking at them like, listen here, do I have to shut you down? But I don't be wanting to do that. You don't want to hurt a person's feelings, especially when you're in their corner. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just got to let them know, like, yo, you are not all that. You know what I mean? You'll be all that when you start hearing people calling your name out in the music that's on the radio every day, when people want you to get online because you help them pop. You understand what I'm saying? But don't come at me like you all that and you really not. You know what I mean? So I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? Why do we have to be so arrogant in order to be popping? In actuality, Jay, we don't have to be arrogant. We can continue to be friendly and be nice. Some people tell me that I'm too nice. You know what I mean? But once you get me started, I'm gone. You know what I mean? It's like lighting a fuse with me. And I've always been like that. Once you light my fire and you come at me the wrong way, it's like you get ready to burn down a building. You know what I mean? Because I'm like an explosive bomb. You know what I mean? So that's why I try to stay humble. However, some people would just light that fuse because they have nothing better else to do. And when they light that fuse, that's when the arrogance come out. So you got to remember, everybody's different. And it's not because they want to be arrogant. Sometimes they're pushed to be arrogant. You know, and sometimes they just being arrogant because they choose to be. So in some instances, it's a choice. And in some instances, it's not a choice. It's a protection of yourself, you know. And in the music industry, and I want to say this to Jay, and I know you've been in the music industry for quite a while. Granted, I've been in the music industry a lot longer. And I've seen some things out here. You know, and when you're in this industry, it's best to just be by yourself. So you don't have to be arrogant. Or you find one or two people that you can roll with, and that's that. Y'all stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. And that's how I've always been in this entertainment business. I stick and move, stick and move. You may see me over here, you see me over there. I'm not lounging around, hanging around people in bars, partying, none of that. Because that's when the arrogance starts to come out. Okay, and that's what people don't understand. You don't see none of these big stars hanging out in the bars, and they barely even go to church, so they don't have to deal with people and their attitude to bring forth that arrogance. So, and that's not, I'm not taking up for my music industry family or entertainment industry family, but this is just what it is. This is just how it's been since 30 years ago. Okay? Just like when I talk about the show, when I brought out The Whole City in Buffalo. When that show was over, I was gone. Okay? The mayor came out with us. He was at the show, but he came out with us when I took all the kids, because the purpose of the show was for the kids to do a talent show, and the money that we raised, we was going to take them and do something big. And we took them roller skating, bought them pizza, all this other stuff, and a lot of the stores in the community. Now, I did all of this. When I say I did this by myself, I went from store to store, talking to store owners and getting donations and everything so we could have this talent show. And I was proud when I brought almost the whole city out. And shout out to Sugar Ray, because without him having the boxing event the night before, it might have not happened. However, and being that they called me to go meet him and all this other stuff, it might have not happened. So shout out to him. However, even when the mayor came to sit with us at the skating ring, I didn't even go sit down next to him. Okay? And I know he wanted to know why. Shout out to Byron Brown. I know he wanted to know why. Because I didn't want to be put in a predicament where I might have to get arrogant. So you got to know your place, people. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it doesn't even make sense to even go around someone or even comment on something, so you don't have to deal with the arrogance. Now, if you're ready for it and willing to deal with it, that's one thing. But if you don't want to be in that rim, then just stay away from it. And that's what I do. The people that I go around on a daily basis, they all loving and caring. I know where I can go to get that love and caring attitude, the good vibe attitude on a daily basis, and don't have to deal with the arrogance. You know what I mean? And then sometimes I give forth the arrogance because of stupid stuff that people do. You know, like when I go into a store where it states outside, you must have your mask on before entering. And I get in the store and these people don't have no mask on, but I gotta be over here suffering with a mask on and can't breathe when they got their masks off. Yeah, I'm going to be arrogant. So you got to choose your battles when you talk about arrogance. And sometimes you have a choice and sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? And Jay, like I said, I feel you. But you got to look at the overall and why sometimes people are arrogant. You know, I could talk all day about the arrogance of some of the people here that I've touched base with in Charlotte. You know, It's just like unreal. And I just shake my head, and I kick it with the people that's, all right with me, and sometimes we talk about the other arrogance that we see, and then a lot of people say too that people that's here with that arrogance is the ones that's not even from here. And I kind of believe that, because all the people that I've met from Charlotte that's been born and raised here, most of them are pretty nice. Okay, and I'm just gonna give it to y'all straight. So it's possible that a lot of those people are not from North Carolina, and you're experiencing a little bit of around the world type of people. Because like I said, I've met a couple of people from Charlotte that does have arrogant attitude. However, they know when, where, and how to have that arrogant attitude. But like I said, majority of the people that I've personally met here in Charlotte that was born in Charlotte or surrounding areas, they're really pretty nice people, so I can't physically say that the people of the Carolinas are just arrogant people and they think they popping and all this other stuff. And some of them are popping in the city, but it depends on who they dealing with and why they dealing with a person for them to pull that arrogance out, and that's what I've seen. Okay. So I personally can't, say that, and like I said, I didn't want to take up, this is my city now. I've been living here for 4 years. I am a resident. It's not my hometown, but I can physically say that, I'm taking up for my city right now, okay? Because not all of them is all that bad, but I can also see where some of the arrogance come from, About the entertainment people, I couldn't tell you because even though I'm in the entertainment business, I don't be out there flocking with them. So, and maybe that's why I'm not going as far as some of the other ones because I'm not out flocking with some of these entertainment people. But then there's a lot of entertainment people I do deal with, but we deal with each other on the entertainment business only. And that's that. Ain't no hanging out, ain't none of that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, that's when the arrogance and all the other negative stuff come to play. And I don't want to be in that rim because I know my attitude. I know I can get in a lot of trouble dealing with people that want to act like they all that. Because like I said, I was always one that you come at me wrong, I'm going to slap you to the floor. You know what I mean? And I've always been like that, so I just stay away from it. That's what I do. Hello, goodbye, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? But ain't none of that hanging out. We're going partying. We're doing this. We're doing that and that. Nope, we ain't doing it because I don't want to be that one to have to slap you to the floor because you came out your mouth the wrong way. You know what I mean? And I am also one of those type of people that I'm going to let you know when you've crossed, you screwed up. I'm going to let you know, and if you come back the wrong way, I still might slap you to the floor. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is, so I just stay away from it. So that way I don't have to deal with it. You know what I mean? And just go out to Jay. You big enough now in this industry where you really don't have to deal with it either. You know what I mean? So, it's a choice of yours, You're doing well for yourself. And that's just me on the outside looking in. You really don't have to deal with it. I don't know if you're dealing with it on your job or, in the things that on an everyday basis when you walking in the streets or whatever. But if that's the case, then I can understand. But in reality, you really don't have to deal with it. You can just keep it moving from that whole, we already know what you capable of in this music industry. Just like people know what I'm capable of in this music industry. I just don't always show it, because I don't have time for it. I can do a lot of things that a lot of these artists can do, but I don't have time for it. 1, 2, I'm not going to be out there in the rim of things. And like I said, once I find that one person that I can work with and we can travel and run around together, then that's who I'll be with. Until then, I'm going to continue to be by myself, and sometimes you just got to keep it like that because you will get yourself in a lot of trouble, and have to deal with a lot of arrogance. And that's just what it is, and like me personally, I've never been one of those that was just straight arrogant. So I can't recognize, with these people that are arrogant like that. I've always been like a real humble person, like I said, until you get on my nerves. So I don't know how these people just wake up and then they're arrogant. I just don't get it. And or the things that they do and say, and you looking at them like you sound stupider than you look. You know what I mean? Some of the things that they say out their mouths, and you just like, oof, you shake your head. But Charlotte's not all that bad, y'all. I'm going to just give it to y'all straight. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with my allergies. The government side of things have a lot of issues, but for the most part, I find the people to be cool. They live a little bit different. Some of them don't even live like they're from the country, or from the South. Like I was saying on one of my podcasts, how some of us New Yorkers live more Southern than the people that live in the Carolinas, But I've learned a lot from them. They've learned a lot from me. And this is how, you get to see the difference in life and living with different people and in your culture, And, black and brown people, and sometimes Hispanics too. But no, I'm not going to say that. Hispanics is not really that arrogant. You do have some, but for the most part, they're really not, But when it comes to the black and brown people, yeah, sometimes they wake up like that. You could say hello, and I don't even want to say what they possibly, they return conversation will be. But that's just how black and brown people is, and it's sad, but this is what we got to deal with. And they could see it in my face, that you come at me wrong, we're going to have some words, or they could turn into a fight too, but I try not to go there because I'm 50 years old. Not saying that I can't still fight, because I can. It's just, I'm 50 years old. I don't have time to deal with the ignorance, the arrogance, the nonsense with people. I just don't have the time for it. I got other stuff I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build businesses. I got my kid to take care of. While I'm out arguing with you, I could be washing my dishes. You know what I mean? Or I could be vacuuming my floor or cleaning my carpet so I won't be sneezing all day. So I don't have time for it. So I stay away from them. And that way I don't have to talk about my whole city being, because when you pinpoint a city, you're talking about the city as a whole. And that's why I made this podcast, because Jay had said, the people in Charlotte, that's popping, and when you direct that to a whole city, it feels like you're talking about everybody that you come in contact with. And you can't say that, you got to just pinpoint what you're talking about, and he directed it to Charlotte. And I'm a part of Charlotte, so, I kind of felt some kind of way, like, damn, you feeling like that about me too? Am I arrogant? Because I've only been nice to you, I share your posts, and I try to big you up when I see you, on the Instagram and the Facebook. So, and I understand, my family had to teach me this, when I come through the house, somebody did something, and I'd be like, y'all, and they were like, well, who's y'all? Because I ain't do it. Say who you feel. You know what I mean? Don't say y'all, because when you say y'all, you talk about the whole family. If this one over here did it, then say that one over there did it. Or this is the way that you feel about this one over here. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being honest. You know what I mean? And not sugarcoating things, because maybe that one person that you was talking about, maybe they need to hear that, and maybe they can explain to you why they're acting the way they're acting. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying this so he could get an understanding of how he just pinpoint the whole city when he might be only talking about one or two people. You know what I mean? So it's just not fair to those that have nothing to do with how you feeling, or those that could be arrogant sometimes, but they're not. They're being arrogant because it's not a choice. They're being forced to be arrogant, you know, just like with the president. We all look at him and he's arrogant every day. He can be arrogant because he's the president of the United States. Y'all put him there. You know what I mean? So he can be arrogant. I mean, that's just what it is. Y'all voted me in so I can act the way I want to act when I want to act it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. But Jay, I can appreciate that podcast. You gave me something to talk about. So thank you. That's what working together in the industry is about. You know what I mean? Helping each other and taking a little bit from one person and bringing out your own things and how you may feel about something, you know, and that's what I love about the music industry. We work together. You know, a lot of people don't understand it. For those that's really in the music industry, okay? And I'm going to say it again. For those that's really in the music industry, we work together, okay? It's not you better than me, I'm better than you, none of that. We work together. You may have something I like, you may use it. I may have something that you like, I may use it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it works. It's not a battle. It's not a competition, okay? I liked it. I used it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I got rappers that make songs with my name and talk my life in their songs every day. You understand what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. You know, I don't go off on them like, oh, you talked about my life, or, you know, you didn't do it right, or I don't do that because they didn't have to do it for me at all. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You got to remember, when a person takes time out to talk about your life or to talk about you in their songs and their books or whatever the case may be thankful, because they didn't have to, you know, and they helping you come up. You know, and that's what it's all about. And that's something that a lot of people in the new industry, because y'all creating a new industry. In the old industry where I come from the old school industry, we helped each other. That's just the way it works. You know what I mean? It wasn't about, because, and I had said this in one of my other podcasts, fair trade. You know, you share my stuff, I share your stuff. You call my name, I call your name. It ain't because I'm sleeping with you. It's because I'm helping my fellow colleague. You know, they always think because you writing on a person's post and you might put up a picture with them, you got to be sleeping with the person. No, you're not. It's called helping each other come up. That's the way it works. You know what I mean? But you know, people that's not in the industry, they won't understand that. They got to make a whole story behind why somebody wrote a picture or why somebody's doing something the way they doing it. You know what I mean? And then once you start trying to figure stuff out, that's how things get all crossed up. You know, like right now, if you're not sharing my stuff, I'm not sharing your stuff. That's the way I'm working right now. Okay, because I'm getting tired of people with the nonsense. If you calling my name, I'm going to call your name. Okay? If you calling my life, I'm going to call your life. And if you don't respect it, whoever it is don't respect it, then oh well. If they don't like it, put it like that. You know, I got on TikTok today. I'm going back on TikTok. Because I kind of miss it a little bit, but I've been into other things, helping other people, but they don't give that same love back in return. So I'm not helping nobody unless you on my team. If you're not on my team, I'm not helping you. So today I did the thing with Chris Brown on the TikTok. He's he's on my team. You know, he's one that I have a song with. We help each other market ourselves. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? No, I'm not sleeping with him. I haven't seen Chris Brown since 5 years ago. Okay? When we was at the club. But that don't mean I'm sleeping with him. That don't mean I want to sleep with him. That don't mean I want to have his baby. No, none of that. This is how we work. Okay? So, until you really want to be in the industry and find out what the music industry, the entertainment industry is really about, I say most of y'all should fall back, because half of y'all don't even know what this industry is about and how we work and what we do. You know, and instead of asking, y'all always want to assume, okay, oh, this is why this person is this way, or this is why this person is that way. Oh, I don't like this person because of this, or I don't like this person because of that. And you don't even know the person. And if you want to know some, ask. This is why when my fans and my supporters, they write me asking questions or saying hello, I respond. Because I want them to know me for who I am, not for that arrogant or ignorant person that don't write back, don't talk. You know, you want me to support you, but when I ask you a question or I say hello, you can't even say hi back. And that's because some of the people think they're bigger than God. And that's their choice. And it's people's choice if they want to still be a supporter or a fan to them as well. You know? So I get it. I get it. It's just people have choices, and they got to learn that you don't have to deal with it. You know what I mean? And if you're going to speak upon it, just be honest on who you feel is like that. So you won't be putting a whole rim of people in part of that. You know? And there's a lot of people here in Charlotte that's popping. And then there's people here in Charlotte that think they popping and they really not. You know what I mean? So, and I know that. But I don't feel a need to speak on it. And I'm not going to pinpoint a whole city based on maybe one or two people or how they did. So, Jay, I just wanted to tell you I felt a little, I felt some kind of way when you said the people in Charlotte. You know, and I'm in the entertainment business, so I felt some kind of way. And like I said, I'm not taking up for them. It's just directed to who you want it to go to, because you are popping here in Charlotte, and you may feel like you're not, but you are. And I know this, you know what I mean? So direct it to who you want to direct it to, because it just didn't sound right to me. You know what I mean? Well, I love you, Jay. You still going to be popping to me. And I heard you about your cologne coming out. So, yeah, I'm going to help you, spread the word. And I hope you spread the word for me about my diamond way. We got to work together. Well, I'll talk to y'all all soon. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love y'all all.